This is the Freeport Project Review Board meeting for Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. The first item on our agenda tonight is an information exchange. Caroline.
So what the first thing you have under there is
Update on staff approvals.
Update on staff approvals. We don't have any staff approvals. Divine Capital, the entity that did the 144 apartments, did come in for some signage, but they were all interior facing. Can't see them from the right of way, so technically not signage. And plus they were more like numbers, you know, building things they need for life safety. They are putting a sign on the clubhouse, but nothing that you could see from the right of way. And then the second thing I think you have on there is update on the downtown vision process. So thank you to the board members and the public that participated in Downtown Design Week. We had a Thursday through Monday with a kickoff meeting. We had a series of 6 or 8, I can't remember now, it's a little bit of a blur, topic sessions. And then we had a closing workshop where our consultant principal group rolled out some drawings, which you can see in the hallway here, of bringing, you know, people's ideas of the week to some drawings. We had great turnout. We had, I think, 70 plus people at the kickoff. We had about 50 people participating virtually at the topic sessions in the open house and closing workshops. So we had a lot of input. We had some representation from this board, Complete Streets, sustainability, a whole bunch of different boards and committees. We had a couple of planning board members there, so we had a pretty good turnout overall. The vision is not done yet. That was just one part of the process. They are now working on a plan, a actual document that they will be presenting the first draft to the community. We're working on finalizing the schedule. It's going to be a little bit updated from the website, but tentatively the new date for the open house, which will be, fingers crossed, an in-person event, maybe outside, April 9th, where they'll roll out the first draft. And then there'll be time to give feedback and another series of open meetings. If you were busy and didn't have time to participate, but you're interested, go to the Freeport Downtown website. You can get background information, you can read past newsletters, and you can view the recordings of all the topic sessions. And I'll turn it over to Guy because he did come in and speak with principal group one-on-one and shared some thoughts.
Yeah, I actually wanted to see if any of the board members that attended the sessions had any thoughts or anything you wanted to share. I know, Todd, you were at a few.
I was in 2 of them. Yeah, I guess it would just be helpful for me, and I haven't done it, so maybe it's already there, but just to see a map of what the process is. You know, how it goes from these nice ideas to turning into something that the town can actually implement, and how that process works.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
I attended the opening one in person.
Okay. And
I followed the rest haphazardly online.
Sure.
And I was impressed by the group, the principal group, in terms of how they led everyone through it. And I thought, I mean, it's very exciting. If even a portion of it can be accomplished, I think it's a really good work. And I really enjoyed hearing, particularly from people who grew up in Freeport and talked about the old elm trees and what was missing and what they'd like to see back. I think their perspective's so important. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Good. You guys attend?
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I mean, we actually listened on the TV. We went to the TV
Okay.
and watched channel whatever it is for, I think, 3 of them, maybe 4. I think I listened one on the recording afterwards. I don't know, maybe I'm one of the few that I'm not 100% on board with all of this, because I'm not sure. I didn't start off, before Design Week, I wasn't really engaged with it. So I kind of jumped on during Design Week. And there are certain things that I just wondered how much of this is driven by just economics and the, you know, economic development versus, you know, maybe I shouldn't be saying these things, I don't know, but versus, you know, what is really necessary to do downtown that's going to make effective change in certain things. One of those things is, and the one I really listened to was the one that had to do with, you know, our work, the, you know, changing regulations. And I was surprised at how much I shouldn't be surprised, but how much people really wanted change in the regulations and the process, because we've heard that a few times with other things. But they seemed to be a bit surprised that this is totally regulation-driven and time and limited people-driven. And, so I thought that was an interesting thing. So I'm not 100% there yet. And, I'd like to hear more. I'd like to understand if the goals, when they started, have now been adjusted, changed, or if it was just that's what they started with and that's what they plan to end with, or is there an evolving process that we're going to see because of input from various people? So that's why we need to wait till the next one.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a process. So I attended 2 of the sessions, one on housing downtown and preserving the New England character of the downtown area. And then the other session was on zoning. I felt like those 2 probably pertain most to what we do here as Project Review Board. And then I got a follow-up email from them asking that I meet with them one-on-one to talk about, well, it started out as historic preservation in Freeport, and they also invited Eric Smith, the executive director of the Freeport Historical Society. So it kind of, it started out under the guise of let's talk historic preservation. How does this work in Freeport? And it really veered into, what needs to change as far as how the Project Review Board operates. How might the ordinances need to be changed or be improved in order to make things work? So we had a pretty candid conversation, I would say, and it's a lot of the issues that we've brought up on this board about, the design overlay and the village overlay sort of doing the same thing, but overlapping, so there's always multiple layers of reviews that occur, and how this can be a challenge for a lot of applicants. And so I think they got what I was saying and are planning on making recommendations to the town council as part of their final report or whatever they're putting together. So, I know that next month we're still planning on speaking with the town council. Is that right, Caroline?
Yes, from 5 to 6. We'll invite them here to workshop before your meeting.
So I feel like that conversation
Sorry, 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30, yeah. So I feel like that conversation that I had with the principal group is going to be one that we're going to have again next month. So I think as many times as we can bring up these issues, the more likely that they're going to hopefully be resolved. And I think, one thing I did stress with them too is that we do have the comprehensive plan for the town happening at the same time. So, it's really important that this visioning process and potential changes to the ordinance and the comprehensive plan all sort of work together and start working together now going forward. So that was kind of the gist of the conversation. It was interesting that they reached out specifically, but I kind of wanted them to come to the entire board so we could all, share some thoughts. But no, I thought it was good to have that conversation.
Yeah, they've done a lot of outreach, whether it be one-on-one with stakeholders, residents. There's a lot of people strolling in the chambers for one-on-one meetings during the week. They have done a lot of outreach to different board and committee chairs, and I think, during the remainder of the process, we'll probably hear from them again. It was the regulation one was interesting. Sitting up here, you guys hear a variety of opinions from both sides, both the applicant and the neighbor. And, during the regulation, one of the things we heard is people want clear standards, which you guys have all been saying for a long time, but people want to do things faster, and that's going to make more stuff happen. So that was really interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how that feedback comes into Design Week. Now, Ford, did you have anything you wanted to share on that? You can do thumbs up, thumbs down, and then I'll turn the speaker on.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, we have a little bit of delay. We have to turn Ford on every time he wants to talk, so we'll go by hand signals. The other interesting thing to go with Design Week is prior to Design Week, the town council had a discussion about the review process in Freeport, because they're hearing from people that it takes a long time and we have a lot of standards, and they want to look at how we can remove some barriers and make some things easier. So we are looking at the review and permitting process at this point in time, specifically site plan review, and if there's things we can do to section 602 to bring forward some recommendations to either streamline the process or look at adjusting our threshold. So for example, are there certain things that come to you that you feel like could have been delegated to staff review board or to staff to be done more efficiently, and then also, you know, preserve your time for maybe some of the more complex applications? So if anyone has any feedback on that, or if you want to talk about at the end of the meeting, we can do that. That being said, we're not including design review in this current discussion because obviously that's a much bigger discussion that you guys are going to be having with them next month.
Okay, great, thank you. The next item on our agenda are the review of the minutes from the November 17th, 2021 meeting and the January 19th, 2022 meeting. We'll start with November. I think we have it. Are there any modifications that need to be made to these minutes? Okay, I will conduct a roll call vote, please.
Of people that were present at the meeting.
People that were present at the meeting, there are 4 of you. Because we're doing a roll call vote and using Zoom, please say please say yes or no or abstain. All right.
Is someone going to make the motion?
I was just,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I move that we accept the November 17 minutes as written and read.
Thanks, Sharon.
Second?
Seconded by Linda.
All right, thank you, Linda. Okay, roll call vote. Berger,
Yes?
Reike,
Yes.
Treudel,
Yes.
Yankee.
Yes.
Okay, that's unanimous for those present at that meeting.
And did you abstain?
Well, I wasn't present, but I
And
will
Lynn.
abstain.
Do we need to,
Sharon usually notes it in the
Okay.
motion.
sorry about that. Blanchard and Hamlin abstain. Okay, next set of minutes is from January 19th, 2022. And are there any comments on these minutes? Any changes that need to be made? Yes.
Yes, I have one word change. Page 7 on 1, 2, 3, the 4th paragraph. It's the 1, 2, 3, the 4th line in, the word hybrid soils should be hydric soils.
Should be what?
Hydric, Hydric.
Okay, I didn't know what that was.
I mean, I guess they sound similar.
Okay.
Okay. Any other changes? Okay, is there a motion to accept these minutes as read and amended?
I will make that motion as read and amended.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Adam. Roll call vote. Berger,
Yes?
Blanchard, yes. Hamlin,
Abstain?
Reike,
Yes.
Did you get it? Oh, hold on.
Whoa.
All right, you're on board. Vote.
What is it, twice?
Tell me, go ahead.
We're waiting for your vote, Ford.
Yes.
Thank you.
Treudel,
Yes.
Yankee,
Yes.
Leave it there, that's fine. Okay.
thank you. It's unanimous.
Sorry, could you just repeat the moved second and the vote?
Move this
second.
Berger, second. Adam?
And what was the vote on that one?
Let's see.
Karen, do you have the vote on that?
I do.
Oh, I guess Ford wasn't there, so he should have abstained. After all of that.
Minutes saying that.
Correct.
So Lynn and Ford.
Yeah, Lynn abstained. Yep.
So it was
Guys.
4-0-2. Okay, thank you.
Sorry. This week. Can't believe it's Friday already. Okay. The next item on our agenda tonight are the reviews, and we had a request to move one up to the first item on the reviews. Are there any objections from the board that we do that? Need to vote, Caroline?
I think you could take a consensus. I don't know if
Okay.
there's objections from
Any
the.
objections? Any
first
objections from the
applicant.
applicants? Okay, thank you. So the first item under reviews tonight is RSU 5's Mass Landing Portable School Building Site Plan Amendment, and I will turn it over to Caroline.
Sure. So we've seen this at some of the other schools. Dennis Oulette, who's in charge of maintenance, is here. They're looking to add a portable classroom at the Mass Landing School. There's an existing ball field that they aren't using for ball anymore, and it's a fenced-in area. So they're proposing to put a portable classroom in there, in the area that's already developed and fenced in. They're going to use the space, which will connect to the existing paths and paved areas. They're going to use it for summer camp, before and after care, and some young child care programs that they're already having on the site. This will just give them additional space. One of the things, in talking to Dennis, that's appealing about this is that with young kids and kids outside, this area is fenced in, and there's really only a small area of walkway connection that they need to add to lead to the ramp that will provide ADA access to the building. The building will be connected to public utilities. It is a pretty typical, modular for a school building, but Dennis is here. He can tell you what they're going to do regarding the exterior appearance of it. The site is well buffered. This is in the overlay district. There's substantial trees between the main road and the structure, and then the road providing access is private. They did add a drip edge. Adam Bliss, the town engineer, did review it, and there were not any concerns for it. And
Thank you. Any
Dennis is here
additional-
tonight.
Well, in concerns with the building, these modular buildings are not always as appealing as they seem, as you think, but, so we're buying this building brand new, so we're gonna be able to pick the color of the siding. We're gonna try to get like a green or a red siding to match the school or the surrounding woods, so it won't be in your face. You can't really see it from the main road, and it's a great spot for a daycare and for kids, because it's fenced in and we can put a little playground out there. The ball field really hasn't been used in over 10 years, so it's a good use for it.
Okay. Thanks. Any comments or questions from the board?
Yeah, I had a question about the ball field, actually. You said it hasn't been used in 10 years?
No, at least 10 years.
Because I could swear that in the spring, I've gone by there, and there's Little League, and there's,
We
no?
haven't.
Maybe I'm just confused.
No, I don't, it hasn't been used for Little League for over 10 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are people that come in and use it
Yeah.
on their own, and they could still do that. It won't be really a baseball field anymore, but there'll still be quite a lot of field there.
Okay, and has the rec department chimed in terms of the
This is
loss?
the rec department's ultimate building. They're gonna be running the building with the
Okay.
childcare and the before and after care and the summer camps
Okay,
and things like that.
okay, thank you.
I have one question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to know also about the ball field. Were you needing to do any changes to the existing terrain of the ball field, or take anything out?
We'll probably take a little bit of the fence out to enhance the access to the building and the ramps, because we have to have ADA ramps.
So
And
that's,
we'll-
go ahead.
That's pretty much it. It's really not a lot, just a walkway,
All right, there's no grading changes.
no grading changes. It's pretty flat. It's a really good spot for us, it's a great spot to put it. There's not a lot of work to do. We can tap in, utilities are right there, so that makes life a little easier for us.
Thank you.
And this building's gonna be sprinkled as well, so, that's just another thing that people like to know.
I had a question about who would be attending the sessions. Would children going to the school, might they be coming to before-school and after-school programs?
Yeah, that's typically what happens. And in the summertime, it's anybody that signs up for the programs. And there's a daycare piece to that as well.
Okay, because I can't tell very well from this, but I wanted to know if there was a sidewalk that children from the Mass Landing School could walk around the circumference of where cars are in that loop and get to this without their having to cross traffic.
Yes.
There is.
There is a walkway, there's a little stub out there for, I'm sorry I don't have anything to put on the screen, but if you look at the map in front of the, like, towards the entry to the school, there's a little stub out. There's actually a path that goes around.
Oh, good.
You can kind of see it, and it dumps off. This circle down here is actually the bus circle, so it's only used when the buses come in. There's no car traffic in this circle at all.
Oh, I see. So, but this big loop, they'd
That's
come
the-
out of the school and go here and then be able to
Yes, you can
walk
kind
on a
of see,
sidewalk?
there's a little walkway here, and
Okay,
it'll take you up,
I see.
outside of the street.
Good.
So you're not walking in the roadway going
Perfect.
in.
Good, thank you.
Oh, there's the plan on the
Oh,
screen.
So, yeah, there's a walkway here.
Oh, good.
And then this is the bus circle, so the only time that's used is when the buses are in there. So the buses will be delivering most of the students right from the buses over to here too in the morning. The student part of it. Parents will drop off and at the school and they can walk over.
So there won't be moms coming in and dropping off directly at the
No,
portable? Okay.
there will be though.
I know. Well, I was just featuring them backing up and,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yes, mostly no. We'll put out something there.
Where would any of the working people then park?
They park up in the employees' parking lot.
Where the
It's not a great distance.
Mm.
So they would park up in the employees' parking lot.
Any other questions?
Are we good with the plan? And then I can see if Ford's
Yeah,
raising his
just point
hand.
at any.
Hopefully, maybe. Ford, I'm gonna hope you can hear me. Do you have any
I'm good.
comments?
I'm good, Caroline.
Okay, thank you.
He's on TV.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, any members of the public online or present in this room that wish to speak?
John, we have John Lowe in the audience. John, if you wish to speak, you can raise your hand and we'll allow you to do so. We have no hands raised.
If there's no other questions or comments from the board, I will entertain a motion. And the motion will need to be read in full.
And we cannot tell if Ford's raising his hand, so we'll let somebody in the room do it.
I'll read this one, it's shorter. Okay, hold on. Okay. Motion, be it ordered that the Freeport Project Review Board approve the printed findings of fact and a site plan amendment for Regional School Unit Number 5 for the installation of a modular classroom building at Mass Landing School to be built substantially as proposed, site plan dated 01/26/22, finding that it meets the standards of the Freeport zoning ordinance and the Freeport Village Overlay District as applicable, with the following conditions of approval. 1, this approval incorporates by reference all supporting plans that amend the previously approved plans submitted by the applicant and his or her representatives at Project Review Board meetings and hearings on the subject application to the extent that they are not in conflict with other stated conditions. 2, prior to the start of any site work for the project, the applicant obtain a building permit from the Freeport Codes Enforcement Officer and approval from the State Fire Marshal's Office.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, thank you. You get that, Sharon? It's time. Okay. All right, roll call vote. Berger?
Yes?
Blanchard, yes. Hamlin?
Yes?
Reiki? Reiki?
Yes.
Great. Treudel?
Yes.
Yankee?
Yes.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for allowing me to go first.
The next application under reviews tonight is Doghouse Energy Services Site Plan Amendment Change of Use. And
Sorry, I'm just going to ask you to hold on one
yeah,
second.
and we will pause just a moment while we figure out technology.
I don't have it in here. Oh, Dennis Peter. You can go to the website, join that one.
Started in another room.
I'll go here. Send it. Let me go back into Peter like I
Yep.
did before.
Yep.
Still locked in. Yep. I'm just jumping around.
There.
Go back to there. How do I get it to not be so big? What do you want to do?
That works? Okay.
Yeah,
We'll go with
yeah,
that.
let's make that work. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to share my screen again,
Okay.
for the record. So just a little background on this. Some of you that are on the board, this is actually a new application for a site plan amendment. For those of you that have been on the board for a while, you saw this a couple years ago. The applicant recently came back a couple months ago because they got their approval, they had 2 years, and then they weren't able to build it. So they came back to get an extension. When they were doing additional due diligence, they were looking at the uses, and before they were calling themselves office and storage, and so they had limitations on the square footage. When they were going through the uses, they noticed there's construction services, which would really get them more of a building design that would work better for their business, which was really using it the same way but calling it something else, because they weren't gonna do like traditional self-storage, they were gonna have storage for their own business. So they are coming back for the change of use. Realistically, at the end of the day, the way they were gonna operate their business will change from its 2-story to 1-story, but they're still gonna use it the same way. They're gonna have office, they're gonna have storage running their Doghouse Energy business out of there, and now they'll have room where they can have overhead doors and pull trucks in. They are changing the building design. They are proposing a metal building. There were new renderings in the packet. There was a summary in the staff report kind of noting some of the changes. They've made some changes to lighting. Generally, the overall layout has stayed relatively the same. They did cut down on the landscaping. They're no longer proposing landscaping in front of the building. They did send over some photos, which were in front of you tonight, to show you the existing vegetation. They were going to propose a couple of trees. They still don't have their signage. They're aware that depending what they decide to do, they could need to come back. One of the other things you had in front of you was a cost estimate. I had Adam Bliss, town engineer, look it over. He did think that it was a low. The cost of site work came in at $165,000. So in the motion before you, I'd say let's leave that TBD, and then we can work with the applicant as they get closer to figure out what that dollar amount needs to be. Without the quantity, it was hard for Adam to verify. And then they did send over some drainage plans, which were before you today. Tom Saucier is here representing the applicant, and the business owner is here as well. I'm just gonna go switch so that Tom
I can switch that,
You
Caroline.
can switch that?
Yeah, I was trained on it.
You're trained. Hopefully it goes better than mine. 'cause
I don't
mine's not
know.
working well tonight.
The way things are going, I could be in trouble. Oh, yeah.
You're hired.
Well, it's not up yet.
Maybe. There you
Ah.
go.
So, do you want me to present from up here? I've got the mic on, or bring my laptop up
If you've
there,
got the
sit
mic
here and
on, it
present,
should
or?
be
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you have the mic.
So my name's Tom Saucier with Site Design Associates. John Scola's here. He's the owner of Doghouse Energy. As Caroline said, we were here in 2019 for the original approval. Things kind of went haywire a year after that, and we were back last year to renew the approval. We clarified some things on the use and how it meets the definition of construction services, which allows us to do what we're proposing now. So the project site's out on Route 1. It's across from Zachow Construction. It's 1208 US Route 1. I like this little laser tool, too. So it's right in this area here. It's currently wooded, undeveloped. This is just the boundary survey that was in your submission package. 3 acres in size. This is a topographic. Some, wetlands in this portion of the site. There'll be no impacts to wetlands as part of this project. There is an intermittent stream channel over here. Again, no impacts to that. This is the previously approved site plan that Caroline was talking about. We had a 2-story building towards the front of the site, behind the 50-foot setback. There was gravel parking in front of the building, or to the side of the building, but that's the front facing. And some material storage areas, all similar. Nothing's really changed today to what we're proposing. So just to give it some context, I put the current site plan and overlaid the red line on it that shows the impervious areas, the building and gravel areas in the previous approval. You can see that other than a little piece of the building here, it's really not much of a different site. That's the area we were grading in last time, so I think that gives you a pretty good idea of how little we've changed. This is the current site plan, 6,500 square foot, single-story building, 8 parking spaces. I believe 7 are required. There's some in front of the building. The ones in front of the building are going to be paved. That's the way we're proposing them now, along with a handicap space paved, and then a couple other buildings over here. There'll be a dumpster enclosure and a scrap metal storage area. That gets picked up as the scrap metal storage gets full. And the last approval, we went through the screening of those areas with the board, and it's going to be a 6-foot high, both areas 6-foot high chain link fence with PVC slats, which was approved last time. The scrap metal area is pretty well behind the building, and none of those will be seen from the street. There's a stormwater area over here. That really hasn't changed from the original approval. Access is from Route 1. There's an updated entrance permit in your application package from DOT. Nothing's changed. That's in the same location it was last time. Plenty of site distance. This subsurface wastewater disposal system is over here. Hasn't changed. Same size. The water will be from a well. The clearing limits are shown here. Haven't changed really since the last time. Might have changed a little bit in the back, but I don't think they've changed very much. This is just the grading plan that's also in your packet. It shows the stormwater system. For stormwater treatment, to refresh your memory, what we're doing is we're collecting the first half inch of runoff, infiltrating it through filter material, and then it'll outlet to a level spreader out the back. Adam took a look at that again, and he's on board with it. This is the landscape plan. The other landscape plan, we had the building sitting here, and it just had some foundation plantings, I think, in the front of it, right along here. This design of this building doesn't really allow for the foundation plantings, but we kept the same hardwood trees and a little bit of lawn area because there's some gravel areas out here that exist now. But this will all be, I'll show you some pictures, but this is all going to be preserved trees, basically, screen trees, pines and things like that. This is a floor plan of the building. Again, an office area in here, 2 overhead doors. On the second level, there'll be a mezzanine around the sides, just, again, for some of the storage of some of John's parts and equipment. So this is the front view, which is facing north on your site plan. So this is, Route 1 would be over here. There's a front view. There's a covered porch here, some windows. This is the entrance to the office, and again, the 2 overhead doors. This is the side facing Route 1, again, which I don't think you'd see much of, but there's some fenestrations here. The bottom, of course, is a masonry veneer. The rest is dual-colored metal siding here and a metal roof. This is the back. That's facing south. And then this is one end opposite the end of Route 1, facing back into the property. So they've been trying to pick some colors. They've narrowed it down to some earth tones and some light colors. This was the first color scheme that they had selected with a band across the top, a lighter gray color here, and the metal roof. So then the next version, same thing, some earth tones, a little different colors. Yeah, I did that right. So the roof on the porch is a little different color. We're currently picking from this palette. Right now, again, it's an earth tone here. An upper band along the wall will be the cool dark bronze. And the lower wall will be the cool straw gold, and the copper penny will be the roof material. So again, earth tones. So this is a view into the site. My truck is parked right where there's an existing driveway in here. The driveway probably goes up through here, so this is where we're thinking of putting those hardwood trees just to supplement the vegetation that's there. This vegetation will remain. And again, that's the frontage. The building would be in behind this vegetation. This is the view from the opposite side of Route 1.
Can I stop you 1 second?
Yep.
Could you, would be the road cut in, where your truck is?
Right where my truck is, yeah, down here. We can go back.
No, that's fine.
So it'd be, whoops. It'd be pretty much where this is open here now. There's, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's a turnout where CMP trucks and tree trimmers stop to have lunch and things along there. So we're using that for the entrance. We figured that'd be the best location. It worked well with the site. So again, there's the building's in behind these trees here. So you're not going to be visible from Route 1. Again, those trees remain. It's just more of the views. So this is a view. I just wanted to get into the Route 1 view a little. There's a orange stake right, where the heck is it? Right here, I guess. It marks the property corner. It's about 20 feet from the telephone pole. The telephone pole's here. So that's just to set up the next slide. So this is that same pole. The property corner is down here somewhere. And from that property corner, the closest that the clearing limits will be to the property line is 35 feet. So there'll be a vegetated natural buffer of 35 feet minimum along the back. And then the front will be a 50-foot. Where we saw those pine trees, there'll be a 50-foot area where there won't be any cutting. So we think it's not going to be plainly visible. And the only reason I use those terms is that's the term used in the MDB zoning language. And that's just kind of a cool panoramic. You see the property corner the pole that's 20 feet away, and then the site, the clearing limits will be somewhere here along the back of the site, and there'll be no clearing out here. And that's, put it back to the site plan, and
Thanks.
that's our presentation.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
I've got one. Just trying to get my bearings. The back property line, that does not abut the railroad tracks, right? The railroad tracks are still quite a ways back.
Yeah,
further.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if we can see it.
Okay.
I didn't either. Oh, yeah, there you go. So, the property line's probably like right in here somewhere.
Okay. Yep, thank you.
Other comments, questions?
Are you still
Yes.
debating red roof versus soft green or something?
The roof, yeah, it's really just, if there's a limitation as to the color on the roof, then we're open to it, but there's really nothing like set in stone as far as, we're just, we're coming up with ideas. And
I think Maria was, the last I knew was with the copper penny right
yeah,
there,
the copper one was.
down in the lower right corner.
That's nice.
Great.
It'll sort of settle in.
Yeah, looks like a nice color for a roof.
I think they'll all blend in pretty well, what they've been looking at. Yep, it is. The switch says on anyway. Yeah, you ruined my record here with the technical.
I may have missed it, but what about exterior lighting?
Oh, yeah, there's 4 exterior lights. It's only building lighting. We had pole lighting on the last plan. We don't on this one. There's going to be 4 exterior full cutoff, glare reducing lenses. I don't know if I can zoom on this. Maybe I can.
What we just got today.
You all had the lighting plan out in front of you tonight. They're highlighted in green.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a, whoops, now where's my
Yeah,
laser?
Yep.
Well, there's a fixture. I have to zoom back out, I guess. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there's a fixture right here by this man door. There's a fixture here over the walk. There's one out on the end here, and then there's one in the back. No, in this end. In this end, there's none in the back. No, there is one in the back, right here by the man door. I knew there was. So there's 4 in total. And then the porch out front will just have some soffit lighting in it, like you'd have on your front porch.
Are any of the wall packs motions, or are they going to be on all night?
I'll probably just motion. Nobody's there in the evening, like, we don't leave at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
They're not going to be floodlights over the lot.
No. No.
When you do emergency calls,
Everybody dispatches from the house. Technicians take their vans home every night. Most of them, half of them start directly at the client's home in the morning at 8 o'clock. The install team comes, other guys come pick up boilers or furnaces or something, but half of them basically work in the house, stop at a weekly meeting.
Oh, you need a wireless mic.
Yep.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're not picking you up on Zoom.
Yeah, it's okay. If you're gonna speak, yeah, just, step up to the microphone
We have another one right
or
here.
like lean in
You guys all have your microphones
to each
on?
other.
yes.
We do, you?
Okay.
There you go, that's on. You can just hold it up too if you don't want to clip it.
And then in terms of deliveries, and I know Adam's probably gone over this, but tractor trailers, are they going to be able to back in there?
No 18-wheelers that ever come to the site.
Okay,
They're just like 16-foot box
Okay.
trucks maximum.
okay. Okay.
I have a, we keep doing this together. Just a clarification, I wasn't around when this came the first time. So the first time, everything was sized for this much smaller building. The larger building is a square foot, the footprint is bigger, correct?
Correct.
Is
Yeah.
there any change inside for expectation of more people or more bathroom use or anything now that it's larger? You're not bringing in more?
So the septic system was designed originally, it was way, way over-designed, and it's still over-designed for what's going to happen here. But we did include some expansion provisions if John ever wanted to expand the business. The septic system will be, that's why it's built a little larger than it needs to be.
Okay.
The water supply won't change any. What other systems? That would be about it. The stormwater's the same, because in that graphic I showed you, you got about the same impervious area, so the stormwater system's about the same footprint. All pretty similar.
Okay, I think there was also something mentioned about the setback from the water course and that you have to
Yes.
get an additional waiver or something from the state.
Yeah, it's what they call a DEP, Natural Resources Protection Act permit by rule. And basically what you do is file a form with them, telling them what you're going to do, and it's automatically approved. It's just a notification is what they call it, yeah. Yeah, it's just the last one only lasted 2 years, so we just got to file that again.
But that allows you to get closer to the water course with what you're putting over there.
Yeah, it allows us to disturb
drainage.
soil within 75 feet of the stream, but stay out at 25 feet. If we were going into 25 feet of the stream, we'd have to file for a full permit. And there's standards in there that you have to go by, and you agree to go by those standards during construction, basic erosion control, things of that nature.
And that's what will be approved in their permit.
Yep.
Thank you.
I understand signage is not part of this
Correct.
tonight, but do we presume you'd put it near your driveway into the property?
I think, I gotta
There
get
must be
closer.
setbacks or something?
I think, yeah, so we've got a possible sign location installed for town and MDOT standards.
I see.
Right here.
It would have to be back on private property.
Yeah, and DOT has a standard for how far off the travelway it has to be in. It's got to be on our property, so.
Okay.
Any other?
Just one more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure we're giving Ford an opportunity.
No, that's right, yeah, sorry.
As soon as you're done here,
Okay.
we can switch that so we can bring Ford back onto Zoom and give him the chance
Do I
to,
need to hit that switch
Right.
again?
when Todd's done, yeah.
The dumpster,
Yes.
it's enclosed with chain link fence with PVC slats.
Yeah.
Will those doors, those gates be closed most of the time? Probably not. Is there, because it's going to be very visible from Route 1?
It won't be visible at all from Route 1.
It won't be?
No.
Okay, because of the landscaping?
Yeah, the existing vegetation and
Okay.
the elevations and how, it's on the back side of the site, so yeah, you won't see
I saw
it.
that, but it's just,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Tom, do you want to press the button
Oh,
on the back
yeah.
of the TV for us? Thank you.
I remember how.
There we go.
Thank you. And Ford, do you have any questions or comments for the applicant? It's all set. Okay. Are there any members of the public that wish to comment?
We have one member of the public. If you wish to comment, you can raise your hand and we'll bring you over. Do you have Zoom up?
I do. I'm not seeing anybody.
I have a hand up. I can't tell who it is. John, I'm going to assume it's you, so I'm going to bring you over and allow you to talk. There we go. You can unmute.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, I think this is a perfect example of great young businesses wanting to expand in Freeport. And I hope you folks approve this. This should be great for the town. And this is a perfect example of what should happen. And I hope it can go without having a lot of hassles and so forth, and the permits can be issued. I don't know if it has to go anywhere else besides the project review board, but I hope it can be moved along very quickly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak?
There are no other hands up from the
Okay.
public.
No other comments from the board? I will entertain a motion.
I propose the following motion. Be it ordered that the Freeport Project Review Board approve the printed findings of fact and site plan for Doghouse Energy Services on US Route 1, Tax Assessor Map 18, Lot 59-1, for a new building and associated site improvements to be substantially as proposed. Site plan sheet C101 dated April 2021, finding that it meets the standards of the Freeport zoning ordinance with the following conditions of approval. 1. This approval incorporates by reference all supporting plans that amend the previously approved plans submitted by the applicant and the representatives of Project Review Board meetings and hearings on the subject application to the extent that they are not in conflict with other stated conditions. 2. Prior to any work on the building, the applicant obtain a building permit from the Freeport Codes Enforcement Officer. 3. Prior to any site work or a building permit being applied for, the applicant do the following. A. Enter into a maintenance agreement for a stormwater management system with the town of Freeport to be recorded in the Cumberland County Registry of Deeds, with yearly stormwater reporting to the town of Freeport being required. B. The applicant obtain approval from the Maine Department of Environmental Protection for the NERPA permit by rule for the work in proximity to the stream. C. Establish a performance guarantee in the amount to cover the cost of all site work associated with the project, to be reviewed and approved by the town engineer in a form acceptable to the town attorney. The performance guarantee shall cover the cost of all site work, including the road, landscaping, erosion control, and stormwater management, etc. Along with the performance guarantee, a non-refundable administrative fee of 2% of the performance guarantee in the amount to be determined by the town engineer be paid. D. Establish an inspection account in the amount of $1,500 for the inspection of the site improvements by the town engineer. E. The developer have a pre-construction meeting with the town engineer. F. At the time that the building permit is applied for, the applicant pay a pavement maintenance impact fee to the town of Freeport based upon the size of the proposed structures and the impact fees effective at such time. And finally, 4. Prior to starting work on the proposed entrance, the applicant's contractor obtain a valid contractor's license from the Freeport Department of Public Works Department.
Before you second, I just want to note you can strike number 4. After this one out, it was confirmed that this is a state regulated entrance. They don't need a permit from the municipality.
Okay. Well, then strike number 4.
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Berger,
Yes?
Blanchard, yes. Hamlin,
Yes.
Troidel,
Yes.
Yankee,
Yes.
Reiki.
Sorry, Ford, one more time.
Yes.
Thank you. Unanimous. All right, thank you.
Thank you. This.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda tonight, item 4, persons wishing to address the board on non-agenda items.
I'll just welcome Lynn Hamlin as your newest member since we didn't at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I knew you met
I
everyone.
welcomed you like
I
right
did
before we
this,
started.
and
I
we-
know. Yeah. Sorry, my apologies.
Wasn't on
Welcome to the
record.
Project Review Board.
Thank you.
Yeah, 3-year term.
Yes, sir.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
Feel free to reach out to Caroline or myself or any board member if you just have questions about how the board operates, procedures. But please don't obviously talk about applications with one another. We are not allowed to do that. And no ex parte communications outside the boardroom. Okay? Great.
Caroline gave me an hour of her time.
Oh, good.
Gave me a good tutorial going
Yes.
in.
The only other thing I want to add, just because you brought it up, is that I have had a couple of people reach out to me. There's been some communication online within the community about some pending applications. So as always, we encourage board members to not view that material and keep any of your comments to the boardroom and not participate in conversation within the community. Any of your deliberation needs to happen here. So Just a friendly reminder since I've had a couple people reach out this week.
Okay, thank you for the reminder. Anything else?
Ford, anything?
Move we adjourn.
Longest 17 minutes ever, huh, Ford?
You did not break any records, guy.
Wasn't my day. All right, thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Linda Berger. All in favor? Oh, roll call vote. Sorry, we've got a Zoom attendee. Berger?
Yes?
Blanchard, yes. Hamlin?
Yes.
Treudel?
Yes.
Yankee? Yes. Reiki?
Yes.
Great. Adjourned.
Thank you.
Lights off.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So next month, we're doing 5 to 6:30, and then
5 to 6:30, we'll do a workshop. I wasn't really gonna prepare anything unless Guy tells me otherwise.
I think we've got the talking points from the presentation we gave last spring. But I wanted to, sort of be a little bit free flowing, I mean, we obviously have those discussion topics, but